Hello everyone. As a part of the green computing assignment, we have done a research on energy awareness by cryptographic algorithms. The teammates that included were P. Priyanka, 13BC0545, K. Sneha Devi, 13BC0600, Sheikh Shama Zavin, that's me, 13BC0755. We did that under the guidance of Professor Dr. Ashekar Babu of School of Computer Science and Engineering. As you can see to the right corner, to the right end of the PPT, there is a data diagram, graphical representation of the project which we have done. So our project is called as the cryptographic algorithm analysis. As you can see, we have dealt with encryption and decryption of data, and we have also dealt with the secret data. We included the ciphertext. Some computation was done both towards the sender and the receiver side, and message integrity was also taken care of. Cryptographic analysis and the signature key authentication and sign symmetric algorithms and asymmetric type mechanisms. Substitution of public importance and decryption were some of the major concepts that we have covered in this presentation. Moving on with the outline of the presentation is going to be like, we'll start off the presentation with the introduction, then we'll go ahead with the motivation, as in what made us take up this topic and do our research on it. And then my friend will be talking to you about the literature review, as in what were the basic papers we have referred to in order to get our work done. And we'll give you a brief idea of our problem statement and the objectives we have taken into consideration while dealing with the paper. And then the other friend of mine will tell you about the comparative studies that we have undertaken, and finally you can see the references that we have made. So now let's see the introduction of our topic. So as I said, our topic was energy awareness by cryptographic algorithms. Let me tell you what cryptography is. Cryptography is generally referred to as a secret writing. Cryptography is a method that is used to store and transmit the data in a certain form so that only the people who are intended to read can view the text that is sent from the sender. Also, cryptographic algorithms are used to encrypt the data and do the decryption. In symmetric systems, the same key is used both by the sender and the receiver, whereas in asymmetric systems, different keys are used to encrypt and decrypt the data. A clear idea on the cryptographic algorithms is obtained with the flowchart that we have included here. As you can see, cryptographic algorithms are divided into three parts. One is the unkeyed cryptography, the second being the symmetric, and the third is the public key or the asymmetric key. The unkeyed cryptography is further divided into two other subdivisions, that is one-way permutation and the hash functions. The symmetric key cryptography has three sub-branches in it, one being the MAC message authentication code, the second being the cipher, the third being the identification of the ciphertext. And in the public key and the symmetric key share the identification of the ciphertext in common. The other concepts that the public key deals with, apart from the symmetric key encryption, are the cipher decryption and the signatures. As I've already said, the ciphers that are decrypted in the symmetric key deal with the block ciphers and stream ciphers. Going ahead with the featured model of the dependencies that we have considered, we have made a clear study on what cryptography is, and we came across its subdivisions. The first subdivision of cryptography being the algorithm, which is furthermore divided into AES and Rajendra, and the second being the block size. The block size of the cryptography is it keeps varying. It starts from 128 and then it goes to 256, being 190, covering 192 also. And talking about the key length, it has three variable key lengths, one being 128, the second being 192, and the final or the maximum being 256. Energy or ciphertext strength trade-off. Energy is divided into two parts, one being the highest and the second being the lowest. All these are, this is a feature model of the dependencies in cryptographic domain for all the cryptographic algorithms that we have considered. So while dealing with the project, the open problems and the challenges we faced were, let me first initially tell you about the main purpose of this paper. The main purpose of our paper is to examine the performance of all the cryptography algorithms based on the power consumption. There are many resources that are being used by the cryptography algorithms, such as CPU time, memory, usage of the battery, power, etc. As the emerging technology in the increase of CPU, memory, etc. is rapidly reflecting the power consumption, that is, the technology of the battery is increasing at a slower rate, which leads to the battery gap. Although most of the information is being shared among various people over the media sources, the information is to be secured and it can be done only with the help of cryptographic algorithms. The main goal was to provide energy awareness with the help of cryptography algorithms so that the consumption of power can be reduced to a certain extent, and the study of these algorithms is used to measure the performance. As I've said, the performance measure is done based on the type of the data. The data being video, audio, or an image, or it can be a text or a document file. The key size is varied depending upon the cryptography algorithm that's chosen to perform the analysis. So now let's see what literature review we have considered. The pie chart here shows us the overall the reviews of the different papers that we have considered. So the technology papers we have researched were 42% of the total papers that we have considered to review this project, and second being the application papers that consist of 25% of our research work. And then we focused on the challenges, up to 17% of the entire work we have done, and the others are as described in the pie chart. So you can see a bar graph to the right of the pie chart that I have just described with, and these are the number of documents that are considered on the x-axis, and being the type of the volumes or the conference papers or the general articles that we have researched. It's quite evident from the bar graph that we have researched more from the conference papers, following the journal articles, and the edited volumes stand at the least by about 19 to 20%. So this was basically the energy awareness by cryptography algorithm journals from all the leading databases.
So now let's see the related work. Security is changing into everyday concern for a variety of electronic devices that want to send the private information which is confidential. There is a lot of information that is being exchanged through the internet or any other media devices which needs to be secured from the attackers. Money and CPU are increasing and the need for power is also increasing. But when the technology of battery is considered, it is increasing at a slower rate. Therefore, it forms a battery gap. Cryptography is generally referred to as secret writing. Cryptography is a method that is used to store and transmit the data in a certain form so that only the people who are intended to read can view the text that is sent from the sender. In symmetric systems, same key is used by both sender and receiver. The different cryptography algorithms are DES, RC2, RC6, AES and Blowfish. We have done our research on these type of algorithms. According to the survey that is conducted earlier, has been proven that Blowfish algorithm is more efficient when compared to all other algorithms. AES algorithm is fast and flexible when compared to all other cryptography algorithms. Next, coming to the all different kinds of algorithms and their descriptions. DES algorithm is used to encrypt the 164 bits of data under the control of 56-bit key. 3DES is the enhancement of DES algorithm, which is used to encrypt the 364 bits of data under the control of 56-bit key. RC2 algorithm is used to encrypt the 64 bits of data under the control of variable length key size. Blowfish algorithm is used to encrypt the 64 bits of data under the control of variable length of data key size that ranges from 32 bits to 448 bits of data. AES algorithm is used to encrypt the 128 bits of data under the control of variable length of key size of 128 bits, 192 bits and 256 bits of data. Coming to the cryptography algorithms, of the many cryptography algorithms used, some of them are RC2, AES, DES, 3DES, RC6 and Blowfish. So talking about each algorithm in detail, the DES, that is the data encryption standard, is used to encrypt the plain text of 64 bits of data under the control of 56-bit key. It is the first encryption algorithm that had been developed. There are many attacks that have been taken place which leads to the weakness of the DES algorithm. So these attacks have made the data encryption standard algorithm not the secure one in the information protection. To overcome that situation, there is an improvement in DES algorithm which is known as 3DES algorithm. In 3DES algorithm, the methodology used is for the encryption of the plain text of 64 bits of data under the control of 192-bit key. 3DES is the slower version of the encryption algorithms at the presently in use. Next is the RC2 cryptography algorithm. RC2 is a block cipher cryptography algorithm which is used to encrypt the plain text of 64 bits under the control of variable bit key. DES algorithm that is used to encrypt 8 bits to 128 bits data can be replaced by RC2 algorithm. RC2 algorithm is used to protect the data that is needed to be secured from the attackers using 234 chosen plain text. Next is Blowfish algorithm. Blowfish encryption is used to encrypt the plain text of 64 bits of data under the control of variable length of bit key that ranges from 32 bits to 448 bits of data. Blowfish comes under the category of symmetric key block cipher. The default bit key is 128 bits. Blowfish is available for free to the users and it is license free. It is much protected and it gives a good encryption rate in software. The successor of the Twofish is the Blowfish. And next is the AES, that is Advanced Encryption Standard. It is a block cipher algorithm. It is used to encrypt 128 bits of data under the control of variable key length of 128 bits, 192 bits and 256 bits of data. The default key bit size is 256 bits. There are certain rounds depending on which data can encrypt based on the key size. 128 bits of data can be encrypted in 10, 12 and 14 rounds based on the key size. When compared to all other cryptographic algorithms, AES algorithm is fast and very flexible and it can be performed on various platforms both on small devices and large devices. RC6 is a block cipher algorithm. It is the enhancement of RC5 algorithm. It is used to encrypt the plain text of 128 bits of data under the control of variable key length of 128, 192 and 256 bits. The main purpose of the design of this algorithm is to meet the requirements of AES algorithm. And coming to the problem statement and objectives of this cryptography algorithm. So let's see the problem statement. Cryptography algorithms are used to encrypt the data and do the decryption. The consumption of energy is growing in an exponential way in computing devices. According to Moore's law, the performance of the processors doubles every 2 years. That is, the number of transistors are getting increased every 2 years, which results in the more emission of heat. So microprocessors can run at different speeds. The speed is directly proportional to the power consumption. That is, when there is an increase in the speed, the power consumption also increases. There are many power consumption algorithms. And let's see the objectives of this cryptography algorithms. Security is changing into an everyday concern for a variety of electronic devices that want to send the private information which is very confidential. There is a lot of information that is being exchanged through the internet or any other media devices which needs to be secured from the attackers. Memory and CPU are increasing and the need for power is also increasing. But when the technology of battery is considered, it is increasing at a slower rate. Therefore, it forms a battery gap. Cryptography is generally referred to as the secret writing. Cryptography is a method that is used to store and transmit the data in a certain form so that only the people who are intended to read can view the text that is sent from the sender. So let's see the design of the cryptography algorithms and how the encryption and decryption takes place. So this is the unencrypted source data that need to be sent from the sender to the receiver side, and that data can be any format, like it may be a video or image or any text or documents or anything else of any format, and it is encrypted and it is stored in a symmetrically encrypted data block. So this is the originator encrypts data using symmetric algorithm. When coming to the asymmetric algorithm, this is the originator's symmetric key, and it is encrypted, and the end users have the public key, so they can see the information that is encrypted using this public key, and that information is stored in the symmetrically encrypted data block, and both key and data blocks are sent to the end user. So this is the design and function of the cryptography algorithms. This is the application side and this is the protocol side, and both the applications and protocols, they share the common information, that is they contain the common cryptography algorithms such as random number generator router, hash router, symmetric encryption router, asymmetric encryption router, signature router, secret agreement router. So RNG comes under the random number generator, that is RNG means random number generator, and SHA and MDS comes under hash router. RC4, DES, 3DES, AES, this all comes under the symmetric encryption routers, and asymmetric encryption router contains the RSA algorithm. Signature router contains DSA and ECDSA. And DH and ECDH comes under secret agreement router. Coming to the storage and retrieval of the information that can be stored and retrieved from the database. So this is the application. From the application, it is stored in the key storage API, that is the application program interface. And next it is stored in the key storage router, and this information is divided into 4 types, that is third party key storage providers, smart card, and hardware security model. And next one is key isolation process, and this process that is going to happen in the key isolation process, that is the key isolation service and Microsoft key storage provider. And the 3 types of Microsoft key storage provider is asymmetric encryption router, signature router, and secret agreement router. RSA comes under agreement encryption router, DSS, ECDSA, signature router, DH, ECDH comes under secret agreement router. So old states can be updated. And coming to the model of the encryption cryptography algorithms, cryptography is generally referred to as secret writing. Cryptography is a method that is used to store and transmit the data in a certain form so that only the people who are intended to read can view the text that is sent from the sender. Security is changing into an everyday concern for a variety of electronic devices that want to send the private information which is confidential. There is a lot of information that is being exchanged through the internet or any other media devices which needs to be secured from the attackers. Cryptography algorithms are used to protect the data from the attackers. Memory and CPU are increasing and the need for power is also increasing, but when the technology of battery is considered, it is increasing at a slower rate. Therefore, it forms a battery gap. As battery is the most important part of the devices, then those devices require battery backup in a better way. Nowadays, most of the devices are wireless and the connection to the network is also wireless. The limitation towards the battery have to be reduced. There are many cryptography algorithms which are used to reduce the consumption of energy, and the information is secured till it reaches the destination. Through the study of these algorithms, the energy awareness can be created among the.
Now let us discuss about comparative study. In the given graph, energy consumption is measured in joules. It keeps on increasing for different file sizes. Function available for each of the family of cryptography algorithm. The functions are confidentiality, integrity, authority, KD of RNG KD. It is measured in symmetric, asymmetric hash. For confidentiality, it is S in symmetric, S in asymmetric, it is null in hash. Energy consumption is given in the given graph for different types of algorithms. It is given in the given table. For triangle it is key setup, and for square it is encryption and decryption. For table 1, in the given table, different run length of width, maximum possibility of occurrences, cryptography is generally referred to as secret writing. Cryptography is a method that is used to store and transmit the data in certain form so that only the people who are intended to read can view the text that is sent from the sender. Security is changing into an everyday concern for a variety of electronic devices that want to send the private information which is confidential. There is lot of information that is being exchanged through the internet or any other devices which need to be secured from the attackers. Cryptography algorithms are used to protect the data from the attackers. Memory and CPU are increasing and their need for power is also increasing. But when the technology of battery is considered, it is increasing at a slower rate. Therefore, it forms a different battery gap. As battery is most important part of the devices and those devices require battery backup in different way. Nowadays, most of the devices are wireless and the connection to the network is also wireless. The limitation towards the battery have to be reduced. There are many cryptographic algorithms which are used to reduce the consumption of energy, and the information is secure till it reaches the destination. Through the study of this algorithm, energy awareness can be created among the people. In this graph, you can see energy power consumption, and it is in bar graphs. It is different for each algorithm. AES for AES the value of power consumption is 5, and 3 DES the value of power consumption is 6, and so on. You can see in this graph. Transaction size for different algorithms, for energy consumption of transaction size for different algorithms keeps on increasing. The energy consumed when the data is transferred from the sender to receiver. Coming to conclusion, security is changing into an everyday concern for a variety of electronic devices that want to spend the private information which is confidential. There is lot of information that is being exchanged through the internet or any other media devices which need to be secured from the attackers. Memory and CPU are increasing and the need for the power is also increasing. When the technology of battery is considered, it is increasing at slower rate. Therefore, it forms a battery gap. Cryptography is generally referred to as secret writing. Cryptography is a method that is used to store and transmit the data in certain form so that only the people who are intended to read can view the text. That is from the sender to the receiver. References. Coming to the references, we refer the following papers. Thank you.